Okay, welcome to Not Your Status Quo's spoiler-filled review of Aquaman. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and ring the bell to be notified of future videos.
My brother has come from the surface to challenge me for the throne.
So the story of Aquaman is the story from the New 52 comics written by Jeff Johns, who wrote the story for this movie as well. And he's also a producer. And they adapted it to the big screen, and I was worried that they wouldn't fit all the material in, but I think they did a good job. Just a brief synopsis. Arthur Curry is the rightful king of Atlantis. His brother Orm currently sits on the throne and needs 4 of 7 kingdoms' support to attack the surface for their crimes against the seas. Mira recruits Arthur to take his place as king and stop Orm's attack. Orm and Arthur duel for the kingship, and during the fight, Mira takes Arthur to the surface world to find Atlan's Trident so that Arthur can rule all the oceans. Arthur's a link between the two worlds, and it's set up by a short but meaningful backstory. This movie is on par with, I'd say, Wonder Woman. If you like the first Wonder Woman, then you'll like this one definitely. I think it's not the best superhero movie out there, but it's definitely at the top of the worlds of DC. Wonder Woman and this are probably about even. I think Jason Momoa is engaging and funny. He makes sure that every scene is serious when it needs to be, and he can switch like within the scene even. It did a great job. He's an excellent choice for Aquaman. I had my doubts when I heard it because and then he's got the long hair, and how's that going to make you swim faster? But whatever, he rocked this role out just like Gal Gadot did. I thought Black Manta was a little bit unnecessary. I thought maybe they could do just an opening scene with him like they did in this movie, and then maybe an after credit scene where he comes back and say, oh well, don't forget about him because he'll be around for the next one. I thought that's just my personal opinion, and overall I give about a 7.5 out of 10.
Okay, overall, I enjoyed this movie a lot. It was a very fun movie. I mean, highlights for me are the cinematography. The movie was absolutely beautiful on the big screen. The third act was truly epic. The creatures and the villains, Ocean Master and the Black Manta, I liked them both. We can talk about that next. Yeah. And I love the comic accurate costume for everyone in this movie was so good. It really made me enjoy it. I cannot wait to see more of Black Manta and Aquaman 2. I thought the fight scenes were great. The gladiator battle between Aquaman and Ocean Master and the Black Manta and Goons versus Aquaman and Mira were definitely amazing, little scenes, bits that they had. And some of the lowlights for me, the Arthur and Mira chemistry, it was shoehorned in a little bit, and it just didn't click too much right there. Some of the dialogue was a bit off, and the soundtrack was absolutely terrible. We seriously don't need Pitbull.
Nobody needs Pitbull.
When they came out into Africa and he was doing the Pitbull cover of Toto's Africa, it was bad.
Yeah. Well, so what would you rate it?
Well, I give this a 7.9 Atlan's Tridents out of 10.
It's coming to the surface.
So other items of note on Aquaman, in the comics, Orm becomes an ally. I kind of like that angle. They kind of leave it at the end of the movie so that could happen. When they take him away and imprison him. He's always just been for the best thing for Atlantis. So, if you're an enemy of Atlantis, he's your enemy. If you're in Atlantis, he's not evil. He's there to protect you. He's there to rule the underworld.
Yeah, and I think, we talked about it earlier. I think they did a great job of his reasoning for attacking the surface world was sound.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we are kind of trashing the oceans, and I can see why if there was someone living under there, they would want to attack us. So I definitely think they did a good job, and I'm with you. I hope in Aquaman 2 that he doesn't take another villainous turn. I really hope that he stays an ally and loyal to Atlantis.
Yeah, and he could really be an ally to the Justice League, because he is powerful. And he's not going to do something that's just plain evil.
Yeah.
As far as Black Manta in the movie, you and I have different feelings. And go ahead with yours first.
You had said you didn't think he needed to be introduced. The fact that I think most of these superhero movies are more of a serialized storytelling that it's okay to have him just in a few scenes. You know, we saw him at the beginning where he crossed paths with Aquaman, and Aquaman let his father die, and then he got the suit from Orm, and you know he was working with Orm so Orm could collect the 4 out of the 7 kingdoms to attack the surface world, and then they saved him for the post-credits scene, and he's definitely going to be a villain in Aquaman 2, and I liked it. I think it worked. It was good seeing him. I loved the comic accurate uniform. I had no problems with it. I know he wasn't in it much, but enough to whet our appetite to see him in 2.
I agree with you on one thing. The outfit was amazing. It was exactly like it is in the comics. Very nice job on that. I just don't think that Orm would recruit someone from the surface world to do anything for him. I think he would find a way to get whatever it needs done without having. I know you were gonna say the attack with the submarine. Is that what you were going to say?
Well, yeah, don't take my line. But I'm saying Orm is the type of person who would do the ends justify the means. He's willing to work with a surface dweller if that means he's going to get his way and be able to attack the surface world. I think that fits with the character, and I thought it fit with the story pretty well.
Okay, I just disagree. I don't think he would need him, and I'm big on the comic, and he didn't need him there, so I don't think he needed him. And I think that with this movie, the worlds of DC is definitely headed in the right direction since Batman vs. Superman, which we both agree was a dud. I hope that if they do some sort of reboot, that they're able to keep Momoa and Gal Gadot in their roles, because, like I said, they're incredible.
I agree. I do. I definitely like the way it's headed, and I think Shazam coming out next year, or this year, it is January, looks pretty good. It looks like they got the character right. I think Zachary Levi is kind of has that I'm a kid in a superhero body kind of down pat, what we've seen, the little bits of it.
Yeah.
And I'm with you. I hope they keep Momoa, Gadot. I hope they are able to bring Cavill back as Superman, because I don't think it was hidden as much it was the direction from the movies he was in.
He's a good actor, yeah.
Yeah, and I even like Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne Batman. If they can't keep him, I'm fine if they move on with those two, but if they could keep them all, I'd still be happy with it.
I'm not a big fan of Ben Affleck as Batman.
And then one of the things that in the movie, you see the book The Dunwich Horror by H.P. Lovecraft. It was in Thomas Curry's, not Thomas Wayne. It was under the snow globe, and James Wan says H.P. Lovecraft was a huge influence for his horror movies. And the Catherine, voiced by the wonderful Julie Andrews in this movie, that was the creature that Arthur spoke to when he was getting Atlan's Trident, and befriended him and brought him into the third act for that final battle. But that creature was very much an H.P. Lovecraft creature. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah, that's cool. They did have a few Easter eggs. They at the beginning of the movie, this was in the preview, but all the bullies making fun of Arthur, and then he does the thing, he talks to the fish, and that back to Justice League when Batman says, "So here you can talk to fish." That's kind of funny.
And speaking of talking to fish, we got Topo the octopus playing the drums. I saw that some reviewers were kind of bashing this, but I enjoyed it. He was someone in the comics for a while, and he played a lot more instruments than the drums, so maybe in the sequel he'll do his one-man band thing. I think it would be great. I'm all for it. More Topo.
There's a Fifth Element call-out that when they're in the ruins going for the Trident, Arthur and Mira, they can't get the machine working until they put a drop of water on it and it works. I thought it was hilarious when he's like, wait, what are you doing? You didn't memorize that? That was fun. But that also, besides that, it reminded me of the scene in Pirates of the Caribbean, the Black Pearl, where they need a drop of blood to put on the treasure, and they do a little cut and they're like, that's it? And it was like, yeah, what do you think, they're gonna kill you? That was funny.
And then finally, I think when Black Manta's putting the suit together and he's like, I think I need a bigger helmet. I think that was definitely a reference to Jaws when they see the shark for the first time and Roy Schneider's like, I think we're going to need a bigger boat.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
we're back. We're going to talk about the post-credit scene in Aquaman, or I guess, should I say, mid-credit scene.
Yeah, they thought we were gone.
They sure did.
And
I hope
we're
they
back.
stayed.
After Black Manta is defeated by Arthur Curry and seemingly left for dead after falling off a cliff into the ocean, we see in the mid-credits scene that Manta is found floating at sea by Dr. Shin, a scientist whose theories about Atlantis are widely mocked by his peers.
And Black Manta wakes up in Dr. Shin's shoddy-looking kind of laboratory. You see a bunch of, his stuff on the wall trying to find Atlantis. Manta tells Shin that he will help him prove that Atlantis is real, so long as he helps him find Aquaman and put an end to him once and for all.
And in the comics, Shin turned on Arthur when he refused to tell him where Atlantis was as a youth. But this version clearly wants to prove that his theories are true, setting up Black Manta and Shin for villains in Aquaman 2.
Can't wait. It's going to be good.
A hero